All right, let's talk about three little phrases that can be a real headache for English speakers, as far as until and up to. Getting these wrong can totally change what you're trying to say. So we're going to dive in and get them straightened out once and for all.
So to get started, let's do a quick little test. Take a look at this sentence. Larry drove me blank the school. Which one feels right here? As far as, until, or up to? Just take a second. What does your gut tell you?
Okay, so if you picked until, hey, don't worry, you are definitely not alone. It's a super common choice, but it's actually incorrect. And that little mix-up is exactly why we're here. So why doesn't until work, and what's the right answer?
To really get the difference, let's imagine each phrase is kind of like a specialist. Each one has a very specific job. Once we know what each specialist is an expert in, we'll know exactly which one to call on.
First up, we've got as far as. Let's call this one the master of limits. Its entire job is just defining a boundary or stopping point.
The main thing to remember is that as far as always sets some kind of limit. Yeah, it could be a physical distance, but it also works great for more abstract things, like the limits of what you know, what you can do, or how much progress you've made.
This phrase is really flexible. For distance, you have, we walked as far as the forest entrance. For knowledge, you get, as far as I know, which really just means to the limit of my information. For ability, he pushed himself as far as he could go. And for progress, the developers got as far as building a prototype. See, it's all about limits.
Okay, next up is our second specialist, until. Let's meet the timekeeper. Its job is super simple. It is all about time.
And that is literally its only function. When you use until, you're pointing to the specific moment or event when something stops. Just think of it like the finish line for a period of time.
So we danced until 3 a.m. The dancing stopped right then. The museum is open until 6 p.m. That's the end of its schedule. You can even set a whole block of time, from Monday until Friday. In every single one of these cases, until is just there to mark the end of a time frame.
Okay, so let's go back to our first sentence. Why was until the school wrong? Well, think about it. A school is a place, right? A destination. It's not a time. That's a job for our master of limits, as far as. So the correct sentence is, Larry drove me as far as the school. He drove to that physical limit. Ah, see the difference now?
And that brings us to our final specialist, up to. This is the quantity counter. This one is the expert when it comes to amounts, levels, and degrees.
So while as far as handles distance, up to pretty much handles all the other kinds of limits, especially anything that involves a number. Its job is to set a maximum amount, or a level that isn't supposed to be passed.
Up to is a real workhorse. It can define capacity, up to 300 guests, a limit on your progress, read up to Chapter 6, a skill level for students up to B2 level. It could even describe a spatial extent, like water rising up to the windowsills. Now that last one is a bit tricky. Up to can sometimes be used for time, like in up to now. But here's the absolute golden rule to remember. You never, ever use it for distance. That is always a job for as far as.
Okay, so we've met all three of our specialists. Now, let's put them side by side for the final showdown. This is how we make these rules really stick.
This table here simplifies everything down. It's your cheat sheet. The main job is easy to remember. As far is for distance, until is for time, and up to is for amounts. Now look closely at that second row. Never use for. This is your safety net. See that pattern? Both until and up to should never be used for distance. That is the #1 most common mistake right there.
Honestly, if you only remember one thing from all this, make it this mantra right here. When you're stuck, just ask yourself one simple question. Am I talking about distance? Use as far as. Am I talking about time? Use until. Is it about an amount? Use up to. It's a simple little checklist that's going to work almost every single time.
And that's the whole system. You've got the tools now to tell these three apart. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. As far as your knowledge goes right now, what other tricky part of language are you going to go out and master next? Thanks for tuning in.